And we should be live. Oh, yeah, we're up live. We're up and live. So, I got chocolate on me. I'm eating some pot chocolate. Pot chocolate. Um, so yeah, I did some. I changed my strings on my guitar, on my acoustic, on to my electrics, and I figured I would not just change the strings, but also show the difference between the before and after, so you can see like why it's kind of important to change your strings out and stuff. And as I said in the description, I get being on a budget. You know what I mean? I've been there. And sometimes you got like two or three guitars and you've only got like one set of strings, you know what I mean? One new set of strings, and they technically need it. So you just make them last as long as possible. In that case, may I humbly suggest to you Ultra Glide. This is Dunlop Ultra Glide 65 string cleaner and conditioner. This would be good for sometimes they have kits that'll have like the whole fretboard cleaner, the body cleaner, and the neck cleaner. But this is string conditioner and cleaner. And so after you play, of course, you got fingers sweat and stuff like that. After you play, it's got like a little cloth top, and as long as you don't go too long between cleanings, it'll stay like that because you won't have. It probably looks kind of dirtier. Could be the shades, I don't know. But as long as you do it regularly with the fretboard, same thing. But you can see that I've been scrubbing the crap out of my fretboard to make sure that the lemon oil gets into the board and also gets all the shit out of there. I don't like having the dirty whatever. So then this right here is really really good. Uh, Kaiser Stringfellow string cleaner. It was called Dr. Stringfellow. I don't know why, but I mean, yeah, I don't know why they changed the name or whatever, string cleaning. But I like the Dr. Stringfellow because it had one of those dauber types tops, not one of the spritz types. You'll go through this a lot faster than the dauber. Man, you go. I mean, this it would last for so long. And like when you get finished playing a guitar, just up and down the strings, and like do it real good. So it gets on the fretboard. Get like a little thin cloth and go behind the strings and rub it up and down, and just whatever. And those strings will just stay clean and last forever. I mean, just forever, dude. Forever until eventually they'll snap. You know what I mean? But they actually stay clean and that crisp tone, pow, right there, and pow, right there. And also, let's see, we got just because we're in the business of cleaning the guitar. Where you at? Where you at? Okay, you're not down there. Okay, so I've got no. That's the string conditioner. There it is. Cleaner and prep. Fingerboard cleaner and prep. 01. No, I've replaced that with Ultimate Cleaner. But the two together, this is like it kind of conditions the fretboard, and this will clean it really good, and then you come back over with it. I mean, it depends on how many steps you want to take, and clean your instrument. How clean do you want the strings? How clean do you want your guitar? How clean do you know what I mean? Some people like to have a little flavor on there, like they like it to be a little bit kind of shitty on the fretboard, especially when it's like a maple fretboard. They like it to have a little sometimes have the string. I mean, because of the whatever. I especially don't like it. I don't like it, and especially I've always hated maple fretboards because I mean, it's just too clean, and then you have to keep it clean. Whereas the rosewood, you don't see the stuff as often. So when you change the strings, then you got a good time to clean it out. But ramble on. Guess I'll just keep on rambling. This is I've made a bunch of videos. I figured this would be the best way to do it without having to drag you guys through it all. So I just went ahead and made some videos of the guitars pre string change and then after string change. And so we'll check that out. The first video is all the instruments I'm going to change, and then I'm going to show the acoustic, and then I'll probably show the Nephilim, then the acoustic, and then the Stress Polecaster. We'll see how it sounds. Stay tuned. All right. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Sean Battle, also known as the Chief Gear Guy, also known as GEAREDMAH, also in the band Troth. This is my custom Equinox. I designed this guitar. Damn it. Get in the shot there. He never does the right thing. So as you can see, Equinox, this is my design. This is the Ibanez GRS, like the bass. And then there's the Paul Reed Smith all back here. In case I didn't come through, that is the Ibanez GRS, the top part, and Ibanez GRS, and and then the Paul Reed Smith, all this the back area right here. I wanted it contoured on the top, but I was trying out a new company to see if their quality was any good, because this was like fairly cheap compared to what I usually started. They started out about $250 before you started making changes and stuff, and so I wanted to find. I found like around 500, 550. People were kind of like getting a little bit antsy about getting a custom instrument, from a company they didn't know and trust. And so I tried to find a quality one that could do it. And this one was about $100 cheaper, and like on the starting, and then you can customize from there. And they did everything pretty well. The Tree of Life, you can probably see, is not quite exactly right. The two should be right here in the middle, and they're just underneath this fret. So if it's off by that much, if you can tell that right there, it's just off by that much. Aside from that, this thing nails it. It's got a really nice 2-point floating bridge, and the tuning, the way that they come out of the chute straight out, it gives it a really nice stable tuning. I put locking to. I traded the lock. I swapped these out. There was no need to. I just wanted to because it's got the whammy, and I want to be able to do whammy stuff. What I found is that, a lot of people try and go, and then crank it after they do their whammy, they try and crank it back into original position. What I would do is just whammy the crap out of it. Just go nuts and just whoa, 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 and then just let it go. Because that's probably where it's going to go anyways when you do it later on. And it tends to stay in tune pretty well. Just a hint out there for anybody who wants to try it. So instead of tuning it up and then trying to get the bridge back to the original position, knock it out of position. That's probably how Hendrix did it. He probably just knocked it out of position to start off with, and then never put it back in. So when you knock it out of position, it's already out of position. Then you intonate it there, out of position. And that way, when you go whammy, it just stays in there. Or somewhere close, where it's just like... You know what I mean? Yeah, there's like a 1 or 2. There we go. There we go. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. All right, the next song. So what I want to do is show why you want to change your strings out. And so it's going to be in 4 parts. It's going to be this one with the, these are pretty old strings. This new string day, I might as well do this one also, my Stress Polycaster, and I'll just show them off. Crap, if I'm going to do it, I might as well do the stupid, too many guitars. I don't know if I want to do that many strings today. I'll do this one, the Stress Polycaster, and my acoustic Alley. She needs a new set of strings. She just sings with that. She sings all the time, but with the new set of strings, it sounds really, really good. With the strings she's got now, it's kind of like it sounds great, but it's a very kind of like muffled. You know what I mean? It's not as bright and vibrant. So it's been a while since I changed them. I like to wait till the weather kind of seems like it's settling in. That way, because usually like a pretty bad storm, especially during the summertime, and just that humidity and shit. They're just gone again if you sweat at all on the strings and don't clean them immediately. So another bit of advice. Dr. Stringfellow. This shit's really good. This right here, the Dunlop guitar polish for when you're cleaning your guitar, for when you're changing strings. When you're changing strings, fretboard cleaner, and ultimate string cleaner and conditioner for after you tune them up and stuff, Ultra Glide. And then I would recommend, after you're doing, what I do is I take the strings off. I have a neck cleaner. That's right here. This is a limonol. and I clean the fretboard out. I use the guitar polish and I get all the dust and fingers, skin, and all the stuff, and then all the fingerprints off the body. I have a couple. Shit, of course, I can't find them when I need them. They're always floating around here. The little hand, they're for doing a car. They're down at, whatchamacallit, Dollar General. These kind of like, it was kind of like this, only it's like a mitt, you know? This one's like a more of a whatever. It's probably down in here. That's where you tend to put him, but it's more like it sits on your hand. And that way, what I'll do is I'll use the the clean side, the white one. I'll use the blue side for the dirty stuff. So that way, when I'm getting the strings clean, like if I'm cleaning my strings in between, I'll use that for that. I'll use that for when I do the fretboard. You know what I mean? And do that, and then I'll flip over to the white side so I can tell how dirty it is, and then I'll clean it off. You know, once I've cleaned it off pretty good, I'll do it one more time to make sure. And then if it stays white, then I know it. Definitely make sure you have these like on their own. And if you ever plan on washing them, I would recommend like probably rinse them in the sink first for like a long time, especially depending on how much stuff you have on there. Because my skin gets very irritated if I do it and like I could like tend to often like rub my eye or do like that, and my eye will hurt for like good 4 or 5 days afterwards. It takes about a day to kick in, and then it just will not go away. It's kind of like I'm like one of these days I'm gonna learn to wash my hands, and so I started doing it, and like I don't get that anymore. So yeah, I would rinse them in the sink, like with really hot water and probably some soap before putting them in the washing machine, so that way it's not all soaked into your washing machine. Give them a good thorough rinsing a couple of times before ever putting them in the machine, so it doesn't like contaminate your clothes or anything like that. Um, I don't know. I don't know how sensitive your skin is, but I can only imagine that being all over my clothes from like here until whenever it wears out the washing machine. So I just rinse them real fast, and you can wash them out. Throw them in the washing machine, put it on hot, maybe even put some bleach in there if you want to, just to get them real clean. Let's go ahead and listen to this, and like I said, a helpful hint. Hopefully, this helps out to show why you want to keep a fresh set of strings on there. If it seems worth it, then do it. But I've got like, so many guitars and stuff that I have to keep the 10 packs, and then I got another 3 pack, and then I got acoustic 3 packs, and I got whatever. And this is like my bag of tricks here. I got a loose SM EMGHC neck pickup. I really wanted a bridge because this one has the EMZHZ, but it's a fake one. I wanted a real one, so it'd be nice and hot in the bridge. But it does pretty good. I would dare say that the Stress Polycaster is more heavy and more like, but that's kind of cool because this one's more my half tuned, so it's like more like my Seattle tuning stuff. Those are all the positions for the guitar without any amp on it. Now let's try a Marshall. And go to the monitor. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Hold on to your butts. Everyone back to original positions. Everyone, come on. Too sweet. Too sweet. Come on. Underlay. Come on. Let's get this going. People are watching. Come on now. Come on. We're not live? Okay, then take your time. That's cool. That's cool. I thought we were, oh, we're just recording. That's cool. I thought we were doing live. No, take your time, man. That's good. Slow down. You got it. Okay, cool. This is the Stress Polycaster. Let's take a look at the Stress Polycaster. Another custom Equinox job. One guitar player named Sean Battle. This is a mahogany body Stratocaster with a zebra humbucker in the bridge, and then 2 single coils. Rosewood fretboard, maple neck with the skunk pinstripe on the back. I love it. ST 12001. 112.001 because it's 211. So we're gonna go through the different pickup positions. Open, then we're gonna roll back. So. These are all stock Chinese pickups from the Equinox factory. So we've heard all the pickups now. Let's go ahead and run through some of the amps there and see what we got. I'm just go ahead and stick with the Hendrixian kind of amp and see what we got. I'm gonna kick it into my favorite position. It's the second position from the, there's the neck position, and there's the next one, the top two, and I like that for the. I feel like it's got a percussive sound. I like it, especially when they're brand new strings. These are kind of old, so let's take a listen to the difference between the two. All right, forgive me. That's my warm up. I haven't warmed up today yet, so that's kind of my warm up there. So I apologize about the crappy playing. We're gonna go ahead and switch over now to Allie and see what she has to say. Come on, Allie, take it away. It's a pleasure to be here. Where'd you go? Oh, she ran to the other room, didn't she? All right, so now you're gonna have to wait while Allie goes and gets retrieved for the date. Hang on. Come on now. You ain't got your dress on yet. Where you at, that girl? Come on, bring it up here to me. Well, I found one. Well, I found Allie out in the living room. I was going to change the strings out there. I forgot I was going to do it out there, and then I decided to do it back here. So, let's take a look and listen. Keep on ticking. Go to monitor, get that out of here. Okay, so this is what I was talking about as far as those rags go. Is that the car, like the car wash kind? You know? And that way I've got control. It doesn't get on my hands when they're kind of inside here. And then what I can do is, like, when I'm doing the cleaner, I can spray the cleaner on here. And when I'm doing, like, the conditioner, you see it's about time to wash this fucking thing. But yeah, that way I can see how dirty they are and whatever, and go through there. So there's that. There's this one right here for, like, doing, like, the big body work and getting the dust off and stuff, and in between cleans and things like that. But this is a big body dreadnought, Alvarez RD 5212 Regent 5212. It's not the highest brand, but I love the sound of it so much. It sounds so good. It's less vibrant right now, but I still, hopefully, I mean, you can tell the sound of my voice. And
If you been good, well then, the soul's lost the key.
I like an angle like that. It gets more of the neck. I'd probably put a dynamic off center so the wind isn't blowing on it, and like either that or another condenser over here to get the body sound. So it's more like combined with split them stereo, you know, especially like a matched pair or even an unmatched, like one that would handle the bass better. My C3 has a lot less top end, so that might be like exactly perfect. And you can always work on the EQing. Always do EQing and stuff like that. Sorry if this is too quiet. I forget. I can hear it through the headphones, so I forget what can be heard out there and that can't be heard. So that's it for right now. I'm going to restring everything, and then we'll try it again and see how everything sounds. 3 guitars to do this, and I've got some bread baking, and I might mix some eggs here a little bit and have some breakfast. Eggs, coffee, and toast. The bread won't be ready by then, but either way, I'll figure out something to do. Eggs and coffee sounds bad. That sounds good. Doesn't sound bad. Doesn't what? Stop talking, man. That was that, eh? And we're going to go ahead and check out what the acoustic sounds like restrung. Now that I got that video. Find the folder. It always drifts away from that, doesn't it? Yes, indeed, it's fun time. So let's go there. I found a video that I wanted to show. It's the Patience of an Angel. It's rather relevant, I think. Okay, we're going to start with the acoustic, then we're going to go to the Nephilim, and then I'll show the Stress Polycaster. Just because that was the most recent one, so you should get a good idea of the sound. All right. So, while I'm doing this, I am uninstalling BFD 3.4. I remembered that I installed that to get to the license manager. But it's unnecessary. But that might be causing the lockdown between 3.2 and whatever. So if I can just get... I'm still on the screen, aren't I? Yeah. If I can get 3.2 and the bass kits that are in there, I have, several. Like with Moto Drums, I've got 13 kits. With this, I would have the 8 that come with, whatchamacallit, with BFD3, and then I've got a couple expansions that it did let me have for some reason, but it won't let me have all of them. So until those get to me, which they're kind of going to be coming, legal has 2 months over in music has 2 months to make it right, and then the courts will. So this is Allie, my Alvarez, and she's got new strings on her, and okay, so this is going to be showing how the difference in sound between those dead strings from before and what she sounds like now. better, a little bit brighter, a little bit more worthwhile, if you will. Sorry if anyone got half moon there. I'll edit it out if it did. Because it's the good thing about recording. So, on to the next one. I've got two more guitars to do. I won't chime in until it's done there. So, peace! Pace yourself. Alright, so one thing I didn't show that I wanted to show was this, and that is being able to use a EBO on an electric to get a kind of a feedback sound. So stronger setting. There it goes. No, I just like that sound. I think it's pretty cool. Anyways, that was that. Let us check out the Nephilim. I'm pretty stoned, so if I fuck things up, I apologize. Before we go any further, full-on advocate of Total Studio Max 4. I did a review of it. It's up to watch. There's everything on there. As I said, if you do the Total Studio Max, it's not, they extended the sale to April 14th. If you do it, understand you'll have everything that you need for your studio, and also understand that they're probably not going to update it probably past the next service pack, if even that far, because this is like everything. Like if you want to get everything and then never need to buy a fucking plug-in ever again, like ever, this is the time. It's $129 until April 14th. So you got like what, 2 weeks or whatever? What is today? I don't know. Whatever it is, you got around 2 weeks to get there. So let's take a quick look at what you'll get in the package if you do decide to go that route. This right here is going to be like all the different versions. You get Moto Bass 2. It adds fretless, upright basses and grooves. It's dope. I did a review of it. You can check that out. Moto Drums 1.5, 13 endlessly customizable drum kits. I also did a review. I mean, it's all in one big pack. It's a pretty long review, and you can just jump around to the different synths and stuff. Syntronic 2, I didn't do a review of that, I don't believe. I might. Yeah, actually, I did. AI-powered Tonex Max. I showed that. Tonex Max is basically Amplitude on crack, and yeah, it's really dope. It's basically never ending. You can add your own amps and all this stuff. T-Rax Max with Joe Ciccarelli, Farmstone Room, and much more. There's so much stuff. It's ridiculous. So the different models, this is the one that you get. It comes with 170 products. It's $130 right now. It's normally like, yeah, $12,597. Often on sale for like $499 to $599. When the Total Studio Max 5 drops, or I think this is 5, so Total Studio Max 6, whatever. When that drops, it'll probably be like either a $100 upgrade for people that already have this, and or $250 upgrade. Because with T-Rax, they dropped it down to $49. And then when it went for sale, as soon as the $49 sale was over, It went up to $100 for the newest version. I get newest up to date. I'm guessing that's to keep you current if you want to keep going. With this, you could shut down your shit and not have to do anything else. You have everything. So let's go through this. You got over 19,000 instruments. You have over 1,400 plug-in effects. You have 670 gigs of samples. I've got that installed right now. Installed size 680. I don't have quite every pack, but I mean, I've got damn near. So Amplitude 5 Max, I've got that. That comes with everything that Amplitude 5 has, minus 2 pedals. I can't remember which one they are, but they're whatever. Arc System 3.5. I'm going to be showing that off today because I've already shown it off, but I'm going to go ahead and do today. I mixed something last night with just my headphones, and then a room correction for my headphones. Now I'm going to mix to today I'm going to mix to my monitors. Now this time it's 11 to 11. I'm good to crank as loud as I want to, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'll come back and I'll remix it one more time with the Arc System turned on, see which one sounds the best. Good news is with the Arc System on, whatever, I'm going to have to keep this microphone off, so you don't have to hear my shit. The Hammond B3 is really incredible. It's really well done. The Larson mastering console is really well done. It's not quite just plug and play, but kind of. It's really, really impressive. I really like it. It's fairly, if you want to master, it's fairly quick and easy to get a good response out of it. While still having control. It's not like letting like the AI just completely do it, but it's also not at the same time having to know everything inside the. It'd be intimidating if you did because it's got a ton of stuff. But anyways, Miroslav Philharmonic. That's got so many like cello. I mean, it's insane. It's really good. Mixbox is basically T-Rax in a smaller unit, which is cool because it uses less CPU and you have almost every unit from T-Rax, including some of the reverbs that are like way more intensive and where you can do a lot more stuff with them in T-Rax. But with the Mixbox, way less CPU, way simpler controls. It's just like a reverb or whatever, if it's a compressor, whatever it is. It's just like the basic version rather than having all the detailed stuff. Moto Drums 1.5, again, 13 kits. Moto Bass, it's got a bunch of drums. Sample Tank 4, dear Lord, there are so many samples that go with that. I mean, it's ridiculous. All the way to Sample Tank 3, Complete Studio, and then Sample Tank 4, Complete Studio, and there's all kinds of instruments that go in there, like the Hammond B3. There's a bunch of them, man. Just a bunch. It's just tons of things. Sampletron, I don't remember if I pulled that up or not. I might have. Syntronic 2, I'm pretty sure I did that. T-Rax 5, that has so many effects. It's for mastering, so it's got a standalone mastering. If my first mastering that I did, and then the mastering I did last night, because I couldn't go through the speakers, I did it through the mastering through my headphones, and it's the video's up for that. It's alive and well. This time with sound. The first time I did 2 hours and I didn't even have I had the microphone on, but I didn't have the actual. Sucked, dude. So anyways, I went ahead and did it over. I got nothing else to do. I got no fucking life. Come on, who am I kidding? Amplitude's collection, of course, is everything. Amplitude SVX, that's the Ampeg set 1 and 2. The Metal, which has got really like good stuff. Brian May, all of his, well, not all of his stuff, several of his signature things. Mesa Boogie 1 and 2. It's got some pretty good, pretty rare. Whatever. The Orange collection has all the orange. Well, I can't say all, but a lot of the major orange one. Electric Gypsy. I don't know that one. I'll have to look that one up. Amplitude LA Rocker. I have to look that one up. I wonder if that's Tube. I don't know. Now I'm interested. I've got it pulled up in the background. It's Satriani, Leslie. Again, so it got so much shit, I don't know what all of it does. Fender Collection, of course, that's like some really good. The Fender Collection one's really good, but then, and it sounds really good and authentic, but Fender 2 has got a lot more rare, like 59, 65 type stuff. Full Zone Collection is good, and X Gear Pedals series. Then you got for the instrument library, this is for all the stuff that goes with the sample tank. You got all these. I'm not gonna go through all this because it just keeps going. Look, it just keeps going and going. So I'll go fucking hoarse talking about it. Syntronic, these are all the instruments that come with Syntronic. Mix and mastering effects. This is all the stuff that comes with Mixbox and or T-Rax 5. Look at all these are all plugins, man. Some of them are based off actual real stuff. Like these are That is, that. Some of these are their own stuff. There's a de-esser, yeah, optic compressor, brick wall. So yeah, most of the stuff that you're used to seeing. Um, these are some really good reverbs. I really like the hall, the plate, the room, and the inverse. The inverse does a really good job. Um, the Leslie is dope. Space Delay is dope. Tape machines. Oh my God, those are so authentic and so great sounding. And then there's a whole TX section. The Fame is really good. The compressor is basically, when you see it, you'll know. If you know any kind of mixing and mastering, these TAC and Tascam are incredible because the TACs sound really good. And then the Tascams are like, this is the Porta one. Oh my God, I used to have one of these, and you can set it to like this shitty tape. Yeah, oh my God, it sounds. It's as soon as I heard it, I just started smiling. Cause I'm like, oh my God, that sounds like so many of my demos. It's better mixed, but it's. I mean, that sound once you click in that one tape position is like, fuck yeah, I remember that shit so well. Anyways, T-Rex, Joe Ciccarelli vocal strip. That is really cool. It's like a triple compression, Farmstone reverb. These are the kits you get. We'll go over that through time, as I'm remixing stuff. I'll show those off. I did a review where I remixed Alive and Well, and that video where I remixed Alive and Well used that BFT3, and I'm in kind of almost legal dispute. I don't know if they're going to actually get it done before it goes to that step. They got like about a month and a half before it goes to that step, but hopefully it gets resolved. We don't have to go to court. I just need my licenses back, and then I'll be done, and I'll be just gone from the music completely. I don't want their shit anymore. 4 years is enough. I just want out. So I went ahead and bought this. Well, I asked my mom for if I can get the money to do it because I was bottoming out, and yeah, she loaned me the money to get this, and I got it, and yeah, I didn't get paid till I thought the sub would be over by now. I'm glad I actually did it when I did because I thought the sub would be over by now, and it's still extended, but I would have just been like sweating the whole time, wondering if I could get it. You know what I mean? But now I've got it, and so I'm just like I've been so chill and so relaxed, at least as far as this goes. Stupid fucking Donald Marge hair, fucking Trump and his shit. I'm not gonna get into that. These are the basses you get with Moto bass, P bass, J bass, P bass, Bassman 5, Devil bass, Flame bass, Imperial bass. I think this one's a SG, Gibson SG, Japan. This Ibanez. Middle bass, I think that is also Modern J, Rickenbacker, Studio bass, Thunder bass, of course, is the Thunderbird. Violin, you know what that is. Aluminum, that one's a weird one looking, but it sounds good. Fretless Bassman sounds pretty good. And the thing is, you can turn all these into a kind of a fretless. That's pretty cool because like the motor drums, it's very modular. You can adjust the different things. You can change the heads after you've recorded the performance. You can change the heads on this. You can change the size of the shells. You can do the depth of the shells. It's really cool, really really cool. I wish you could take the bottom heads on or off, but you can loosen them and tighten them up. That's pretty cool. So there's a fretless jazz, fusion J, horn bass, the punk bass, rockabilly, which is a upright, and then the studio upright is there. So as you can see, these are the basses there. This is the drum set. This is sample tank. This is field harmonic or whatever that's called. This is that Syntronic, and so is this. And yeah, so it's really cool. These are all the amps you get with that, including the Tonex section, which you can access the Tonex from inside Mesa. I'm from inside the Amplitude now. Haven't slept yet. And then this is some of the gear you get with T-Rex and mix boxes right here. This is T-Rex gear. This is a Larson mixing desk, mastering console, mix box. Yeah, I mean, if you want to see all the titles, you just go here and whatever. But $129. It's just not bad. Miroslav Philharmonic. It's just really cool. And again, with this, if you have a MIDI keyboard, if you have a foot controller like a FCB 1010 or Line 6 Mark II FBV shortboard MK2, anything like that. The PV Viper, I think, might even do a USB. You're ready to lock down. You can control all your amps that way with the MIDI keyboard, you can control all of these. You know what I mean? All these synths and stuff. All of these. You can control all these. You can control all of these if you want to see. You can change the heads. You can change the. It's insane. It's really, really cool. And so you can, even though you don't have necessarily the exact kit you're looking for, you can dial in the amount of room. You can change the room it's sitting in. You can change the overhead mic. You know, that's how much overhead's in there. You can adjust the top head to be clear head or a coated head, and the bottom head stays clear. And you can adjust the tension of the snare trap, and also from a large to a medium, the depth of the shell as well as the width of the shell. So it'll, like, as you go from like a 14 to like a 15 or 16, it actually goes pa pa po po po. It sounds genuine, just like you're tuning the drum down, or we got it larger. It's really cool. Toasty Max, this is goes then T-Rex 5. That's the Joe Ciccarelli. That's Muscle Shoals. That's the Stone Room, and that's Fame. Oh, Sunset Sound. So this is supposed to be Fame. Arc 3.5, very cool feature. Pardon me. And then Mixbox, Lurson mastering the console, very cool. So, anyways, $129, $130 gets you all that, and I don't see how you could pass that up. But I mean, you do you. I'm suggesting that you go ahead and get on it, as long as you understand that you might have to like pull your thing off the net. I would really, 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 really like to talk to Ike Multimedia. I've got some ideas that I was going to pass on to BFD, but they are way more poised to do everything I need to do. So I would like to just talk to them and see what they have to say about some of my ideas. And yeah, I see why Elaine and stuff wore glasses, and so did Kurt and stuff, because your eyes are just kind of, even though your voice sounds like normal, my eyes are just like barely, like, I mean, they're rolling and just behind the glasses, dude. They're going crossed and shit. It's fucking crazy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and check out the spastic colon funky neck. Let's go ahead and check out. No, not you. This one right here. All right, I'm gonna go to. No, damn it. What are you doing? Okay, there, File Explorer. Now, you go to Videos. And where is, there it is, Nephilim. We'll start with that one and see what's going on with you. Ooh-wee, what's up with that? And, as you can see here, we have the Nephilim once again. This beautiful baby. I really love this. I love this shape. Not just because I designed it, but I mean, I when I started making these, I purposefully wanted to make guitars and basses that I thought were appealing to my eye. So that way, I figure the more that I want to actually play it, the more I actually will play. Like seriously, it's hard for me to walk by this room and look in at the instruments, because I just want to go in and touch stuff, and play. And sometimes that's not always possible, but I mean, that was kind of exactly what I wanted to happen. And I mean, look at this thing. This thing's just dope. And on top of that, it's mine. I designed the headstock. I didn't design the inlays, but I customed that. I chose this layout for the pickups. I wanted the metal style, and then the Les Paul, so it's like a nice kind of jazzy kind of style in the neck, more of a hot in the bridge. The four, I chose all this stuff. 24 fret. Chose all that stuff. So anyways, we're going to go through the different pickups again, like we did before. Check it out with a little bit of amplitude here, shall we? First off, bring it over the screen. And bring it up on the monitor. There she is. It's not exactly the same thing as before, but I try to get it close enough. Just keep the amp on. We do that. Do like we did before. Start off with a little bit of this. Yeah. songs off of the Stress Polycaster. Try that one next. Try and leave the amp up this time so we don't do the same thing we did last time. All right, later. Get out of my house, Steve. Damn. No. We already covered that. No. Media player. Where's the amplitude? Come on now. Don't play games with me. Well, we're going to try and load it up again then. See if that'll do it. So it's time for a reboot. Yeah, it's like definitely time for a reboot. By the close of current songs, you wish to say no. Okay, so it's going to reload it, hopefully. Okay, I can't get none of these things open up. There's that. Let's see if I can go control delete. Where's delete? There. Task manager. Task manager. And amplitude. And where's bring to the front? Expand? No. Switch to. There we go. Boom. More than one way to skin a goat. Or a cat, or a fish, or tangerine, whatever makes you happy. I mean, I'm not here to yuck your yum in any kind of way. What was that one? They're saying something that let's do something, and they said they had it, but I don't see it here. It's probably in whatchamacallit. So let's just stick to the one we had before, so we don't have too much variation in sound. Amplitude. We need this pedal on the front side. Not that much drive. Not that much tone. Maybe not that much level, but we're gonna find out here in a second when we switch over to Jimmy. Jimmy! I give you all the pop stars in the world if you give me back Jimmy. Come on, baby. Give me back Jimmy. Jim boy. Jim Belubi. Jim boy. Jimmy! Jimmy Jim Jams. James Marshall Hendricks, who played a Marshall guitar. Isn't that's just, that's just cool. like my name being Sean Battle. I was like a very, very badass war general. Your name is Sean Battle? Yeah. Did they call you that, cousin? No. I was born that name. Fuck. You got the right job, dude. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I hate how like the first week, or I mean, a couple of days to a week, depending on how hard you play, and how often you play, the strings are just going out of tune. There's nothing you can do about it because they're just breaking in. Once they break in, if you haven't been keeping up with them, they're about dirty enough to fucking change. It sucks. It's like I said, in your wish list, have a lot of goddamn packs of strings if you're a guitar player. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, because you have guitars, players, strings, and your thing. Unless you just give them to me, which I'd appreciate it. But why you do your Christmas present for me, I don't know. So a while back, I came up with a thing called Januarismus because at the end of the Christmas season, when you buy all the gifts and stuff like that, when you go to return shit, well, they always tell you, do you have the receipt? No. Then it's going to be at the sale price. Why is that? Because the sale price is even cheaper than the sale price for Christmas. So just wait till everything goes on sale and they got all these returns and shit. Go back and buy in January. Save all that money. To be less shopping. And nothing else, you can also do like a wish list on Amazon. And so that way, if you make like a whole wish list on Amazon for Januarismus, it's just stuff like $30 or less that people could get you if they wanted to get you a gift, and things that you would really want. And so you still be surprised because you don't know what they got out there. Please tell you, I could go online, and it's like stuff that you don't mind getting, like duplicates of, like strings. Dude, you can never give me too many strings. Like, oh shit, I got you a pack. I got you a 10 pack of strings, anyways. I'm like, I've got 5 fucking electric guitars. We're gonna be all right. this? Oh, gotcha. Damn it. I was switch to rack B. It says rack A, and it only give me two of them. It should have like all five, and I've got max. I don't know why it's not giving me max. Let's try Tonex and see what Tonex just got in the form of a Soldano. Search, yeah, Soldano. Sorry if this is boring anybody. I just want to play around. Metal for metal. And I make my own bread too. Yes, indeed, in a bread maker. Dear God, how long was that shit? I don't even know, man. I'm fucked up. I don't care. If anyone's still tuned in, man, thank you. I don't know why you're still watching this shit. That was absolutely asinine. Or derriere-ish. Or poopsalicious. Sanctifutimus. Um, ooh, more pot chocolate. See, these are going to be, I got some that are like squares and some that are circles. And these are going to be like the surprise ones. I'm going to get some stuff from Walmart, like butterscotch and like Heath toffee or whatever, and a couple other things, and just randomize it. And I don't have one of my Darth Vaders. I think I showed them though. They're pretty deep. The Darth Vader heads. I'm gonna get some maraschino cherries and put those in there because there's like 8 of those, and then there's these right here have peanuts and cranberry, and it's dark chocolate. I might make a mix of dark chocolate and I can make a dark chocolate. Like the dark chocolate I have left over from all the other mixes, I can start putting in this, where I'll already have the stuff in there. But then I can make like a white chocolate. Also, there's a vanilla one. Okay. I mean, I've got enough molds now. I got bat signals. I got fucking Han Solo and carbonite. It's fucking dope, dude. It's so sick because it gives you like a chocolate bar. And they have like the little ones that like the little Mr. Good bar. That's about the size of them. It's little Mr. Good bar because I just got Han in there. So I got to crumple up some peanuts in there. I pour it in there whatever. It's like a little Mr. Good bar. And then the big one, I could just drop some fucking half peanuts in that bitch. Like in this one. This whole half peanuts in this motherfucker along with a bunch of cranberries. Because, dude, the tartness of the cranberry and the sweet of the dark chocolate is so good. Cranberry's good for that urinal tract. Clean out your urinal tract, boy. What's wrong with you? Goddamn. Mike Epps is fucking funny. Get that urinal tract. That's the only whiteboard ever done made me moist. God damn it, dude. I mean, some of Eddie Murphy's shit is just fucking. Holy fuck. Buckwheat is dead. That shit is just. Oh my god. It's so good you can't find it on the net. I'm sure they're selling that shit. You know what I mean? God damn it. It's so good. And like the land shark, you can't see that shit. Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. Oh my god. Mr. and Mrs. T's Bloody Mary mix. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Hamburger. I don't really remember that one except for that part right there. And people laughing about that. And then the Two Wild and Crazy Guys. I never really thought that one was all that funny. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't all that funny. It was better when they brought him back to be with Justin Timberlake and Adam Sandberg. Andy Sandberg. Adam Sandler, Andy Sandberg. You pick a goddamn name, would you guys? And just like, change it. Randy, at least. Randrew. And Bandy. I don't know. So we can keep it to the part. How long has it been? 2 hours and 9 minutes. Holy crap. You just wasted 2 hours of your life if you watched all this. You're not getting it back. See, you don't give me less. You give me 2 hours and I gave you more. I was supposed to give you just like a little bit of the information about what it sounds like with strings. And then I got high and just said, fuck it. I'm doing what I want to do. It's my show. You don't give me less. I give you more. You can check out anytime. There's no saying. You don't have to stay. If there's even anybody in here, I have no idea. Oh, my back. I never know. But I'm gonna. Do. I never know. Do. I never know. You never know. You never know. Can't tell that's one of my favorite things of all time. Have you ever seen not Fractured Fairy Tales, Fairy Tale Theater with Shelley Duvall? And there's an episode with Red Riding Hood. Holy crap. Is it Roddy McDowell? I think it's Roddy McDowell plays the wolf. And if you saw her, you'd recognize the old lady playing the grandmother. It's just so good. Me and my brother would just laugh at it, and and my sister. We would rent the fairy tale theater because I mean it had like Robin Williams. You know, I mean it had some really good people in there, and the stories were really cool. They were really shoestring budget, which made them like even cheesier, which is all that more epic. Have you seen the damn videos for like the '70s like Black Sabbath ones and shit, where you can see the curtain where the curtain kind of drew because they didn't more than likely it was cut, but like for the film format, but actually recorded like the whole thing. So it just looks god awful now because it still cuts the green screen, but you can still see like the little and the hooks where it goes in there. It doesn't stop the song from being badass. It's just kind of like I thought they were out in space and swirly fucking tie dye. I didn't think that was real. No, I knew. I knew, but it's just kind of we gotta get back into that, man. Making like dope ass trippy videos, shit you can just like fucking bug out on because everybody's always like my face in the camera. Tool, I love that about Tool. I don't really like. I didn't like their music at first, but I did like that about them that they were never in their videos. Early on they were, but like later on with like sober and on, it was all that stop motion. I think that the guitar player does. I think. Um, yeah, they're all into weird shit, man. Like the drummer's into numerics and shit, and doing MIDI drums. I was like, fuck, that's cool, because I mean, he's gonna want to do whatever. But everything I've seen so far doesn't seem like it's really doing a whole lot of what I was talking about. And his mind's really cool. You just gotta flip your mentality a bit. Um, you have a whole fucking thing, man. A whole world at your feet. So, IK Multimedia needs to contact me, dude. I've got some incredible ideas that they would love. I guarantee they would love to hear. They would love to hear this shit because it's a way that they could take over the entire fucking music industry. And Total Studio is at the core of it. You know what I mean? So, all right, man. Now, someone tag IK Multimedia and let them see this. I'm not a good player, but I still got some good ideas. I used all the stuff minus the. Anyways, I got a review. Check that out. Also, the sale ends April 19th. Definitely check it out if you have the chance, and if you don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind pulling my computer off there when I'm back here. I'll just have my computer off that, and I'll just like do live. I'll jump off the Wi-Fi to go live, and then just pull the internet down, so I don't update anything. I'll probably turn off anything. Um, I have a whole idea for it would work. It would be really cool. But anyways, I'm gonna head on out, and hopefully this helped in any kind of way. I don't know how, but I mean, maybe like, oh yeah, it does sound different between the strings, as it should. But I mean, maybe you see exactly how different. Like, oh, my strings are worse than that, so I can only imagine how great my shit will sound when I change the strings out. When I was younger, man, I had to wade through these rusty ass fucking strings. There's nothing I could do. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the knowledge of like the Stringfellow and shit like that. Once I got that, and I was in Michigan, but I was like, fuck, I started playing in 13. I was like 18 before I even learned about Stringfellow because they kept doing. I was like, what? They're getting ready to end the gig, We were in the basement, and they're passing the stuff back and forth. They're just rubbing the string. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, Stringfellow. I'm like, what the? And like almost in unison. Like what the fuck? Do you don't know this? And I'm like, no, what the fuck is Stringfellow? The guy needed Andy, I think, came up and showed me his strings, and I was like, yeah. He's like, these are like, however long they're all. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, that's why Stringfellow. Like, oh shit, yeah, dude, because there's no difference from like brand new packaging. Like, yeah, no, it just doesn't. As long as you do this after every practice, and then wipe them down, strings never get old. Stay flexible, stay conditioned. It's dope. Stringfellow, Total Studio Max, lemon oil fretboard cleaner, um, cleaner and prep, body, polish and cleaner. I think I showed Stringfellow. I don't know what Stringfellow. And this right here. Now, they have some like dime bag had his own. I don't know if they still sell it since he's passed, but they had a dime bag one that was the Dopper style, this style with like the, and basically inside of it was Stringfellow, Dr. Stringfellow. I got some because I went looking for Dr. Stringfellow. He's like, yeah, I don't have that. I don't know what that is. And I was like, well, what's that? And he's like, it had dime. He's like, whale on the front. And he's like, oh yeah, that's his like signature fast string cleaner thing. That might be something you're looking for. And like, how much? And it was about the same price. I was like, fuck, I mean, if it's dime, let's try it. And I put it on there. Like, this is Stringfellow, and it's got the fucking dauber like I like. Hell yeah. And that lasted me so long that I just eventually ran out. Like I said, this spray right here, the best thing I found was to put like a, where'd it go? Yeah. I'll start at the back of the pickups and run this through, and then slide it up the neck until it's hooked to the, at the top. The strings are coming over here, and whatever, and then just spray the strings down, then come back over with this side, flip it over like that, and just fucking scrub them down, Especially if they haven't been used very much, just kind of wipe them down, then use the other side and wipe it down again, then slide it down because it's all that got that in here, so it gets the back side, and then just like go up and down a couple times until I can see like the fretboard's gotten a bit wet, and then slide down to a place where it hasn't, then do the same thing over. Keep cleaning until I get down over the strings, and over the strings I just kind of whatever. A little bit of that, and your strings will stay fresh for a lot longer. A little tip from Uncle Sean to Grandpa you. That's how I feel. You're my grandpa today. I don't care. You are. Thanks, Grandpa, for sticking around. I appreciate it. I never met my grandpa on my dad's side and never met my grandmother on my mom's side. Weird. Anyways, have a go.